My name is Cher Gottman, and I am the NYC Women, a dating coach with love expert and help men from all over the world learn, attract, and forget. Today I'm going to give you 10 easy topics to talk about with women. It can be a little hard to hold an easy flowing conversation. So I'm going to give you 10 topics that can stimulate conversation between a man and a woman. Things that women like to talk about, things that can make her interested and intrigued by you. Because they're not the same old boring questions that we hear from guys all the time.
What do you do for work? Where are you from?
We need a little something more than that. Although those are great opening questions, we need more. So here's 10 easy topics for you to talk about. All right, so topic number 1. Talk about books, talk about reading, talk about things that are intriguing for women. So a lot of us love to read, not all of us, of course. I think every single woman over the age of, 15 has read a book, right? Has read at least one book in their lifetime. So ask them about what their favorite book is, what makes that their favorite book, why do they find it interesting, do they recommend it for you? And then you could talk about your favorite book, what kind of genres you like to read. It's something different. It's not something you really hear about on a date. So something different, something interesting, and you get to hear her point of view, and then you get to add your point of view in also. So I think that's a great conversation starter. All right, topic number 2 is favorite movies. I'm a huge movie buff, so anytime I start talking about movies, it gets me excited, and I always love talking about them. And then when I get to hear what the guy likes, it's great. And then we can be like, oh yeah, that's my favorite movie, and he'll say, well, this is my favorite movie, and then we can discuss maybe watching one of those kinds of movies together. If he says he loves superhero movies, and I say I love romantic comedies, maybe one day he'll say, well, have you seen a superhero movie? Which I have, but pretend I haven't. And I was like, no, I've never seen one. Then he could say, oh, you got to come over sometime so we can watch one. You're going to love it. I have a whole collection at my house. And then there you go. Next date is already planned. So try to find common interest. And if she doesn't like your kind of movies, you don't like hers, that's okay, because maybe you can convert her to liking your movies. Or say, he likes scary movies and you hate scary movies. He could explain why he likes them, and she'll say why she's so scared of them. And then he'll say, well, don't worry, we'll watch one together and you can hold on to me every time you're scared. And we can even watch with the lights on if you want. So something cute like that. It's a great conversation, and it's fun because most people love movies, so it's easy to talk about. Another great conversation is about music. She may have a certain kind of music she likes. You might have a different kind that you like. There you go again. You can play her some of the music that you like. You can listen to a song. Maybe you have the same interests. You could sing a song together. And if you have different tastes in music, that's okay. Ask her questions about what she likes. If she has any songs that you need to hear, you need to recommend. Also, if you guys end up continuing the conversation, the date goes really well, the next day you can text her a song that you just heard on the radio that you think she would really like. Or you can text her, hey, I checked out that song you said, and it's actually really good. It's a great opening line to have. It's a great conversation to continue through text to say you remembered. Or if you talk about a song that you really loved and she never heard of, you could send her the song the next day. Be like, hey, this is a song I was talking about. You got to check it out and let me know what you think. Great text follow-up, something to continue having. It's a way to build your relationship together through music. All right, so another great conversation to have is about travel. Has she traveled anywhere? Does she like to travel? What kind of traveling does she do? Does she do backpacking? Does she travel with her family? Does she travel with friends? Does she do Kentucky tours and travel team tours or young adult tours or whatever it is? Those are great questions. Where have you been? What do you love to do? So great question to have, because a lot of people travel, go on places, or say she's never been anywhere. She's never even been on a plane. That's a really interesting conversation. Why hasn't she gone anywhere? Do you mind that about her? Do you want to take her somewhere? Where would you go? Where would you tell her to go? Travel is something that's so fun to talk about, especially if you love to travel. I'm passionate about traveling. I would spend the rest of my life just traveling around the world if I could. So I think that's really fun to talk about. And I always love to hear where other people have been, where they recommend, where I should go, where I should plan my next trip to. So I think that's a fantastic conversation to have. The next question you can talk about is her passions and her goals. What does she hope for in life? If you find something that she's passionate about and be able to talk about it and to share that passion together, will only help you grow your relationship. The next question that I have for you guys to ask is, if she could do anything in the world and not have to worry about money, what would you do and why? I always think that's such a fun question. What would people do? What would they want to do? I think it's so interesting, and I think it also allows you to get a little insight into their life, into who they really are, for what the kind of answer that they give. All right, another question, talk about her family. Family is usually something that you hold near and dear to your heart. Ask about her brothers, her sisters, if she has any, if she's an only child, about her mom, her dad. Is she closer with her mom? Is she closer with her dad? What's her story? When you learn about her family, you actually end up learning a lot about who she is as a person. Also, if this relationship is to grow one day in the future, one day you'd probably meet the family. So knowing about them ahead of time before she has to tell you only the good things is sometimes really interesting to hear. All right, so another fun question is to ask her, what is the craziest thing that you've ever done? I always think that's so interesting, like what people are going to say, because although she may say, well, I'm not that crazy of a person, usually there's something really interesting. When someone asks me the craziest thing that I've ever done, it's like hard because you're usually put on the spot. Like right now, I'm like, I don't know what I've done. But the craziest thing, I guess I would say, I've gone bungee jumping. I thought that was really fun, and then I could talk about the experience, how I was in Thailand and never been bungee jumping in my life, and it was literally the craziest, scariest experience ever, and I would never do it again, and I don't recommend it, but I'm glad I did it. So I think that's something fun, and you can laugh about it, and so asking something like that is always an interesting topic. Okay, another question to ask is about her life growing up, what she was like as a kid. Was she a nerd? Was she popular? Was she a cheerleader? Was she into the books? What was she like? It's always fun to reminisce on old times, and although you weren't a part of those old times, if you join in by just listening to her memories, it kind of opens up her heart a little bit, because she's kind of like letting you in. I think that's really a fun conversation to have, also something very different that most people don't ask about. All right, the last question to ask about is a very simple one, however, it gets your conversation going, and this is probably one of the first questions I'd start with is, what did you do this past weekend? What kind of fun things are you into? What kind of fun activities are you into around the city or wherever it is that you guys live? Hearing if she plays in a kickball league, or if she's into dance, or if she loves to watch football every Sunday, or whatever it is, it kind of opens up a door into who she is and what she's about. So you can ask questions on that and then build all of these other conversations on top of it. I hope this helped you guys, and I really feel like these are fun conversations. To allow everything to flow, to allow it to be fun and exciting. You don't want to be dry and boring, which you may have heard in one of my other videos. Dry and boring is the worst. Fun and exciting is the best. So have a fun and exciting date. I wish you guys all the best. My name is Cher Gottman, and I am the NYC Wingwoman. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button right now, and like and comment, and I will see you all next time. If there's any videos that you want me to do, please don't hesitate to ask, and I will definitely try to do them for you. All right, I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see y'all soon.